Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn some important grammar, so let's get started. Today we're talking about could have. Could have plus a participle. This is how we express possibilities in the past. Example, he crashed his bike. He had an accident on his bicycle. But he's okay. He didn't get hurt. So I can say it could have been worse. Could have plus a participle. It could have been worse. Could have together, could have. Remember, the L is silent in could, and the contraction sounds like this, could have. Use the sound like cup and up, plus the v sound like in Victor, could have. It could have been worse. Example, he fell off his bike, but he's okay, he's not hurt. What do you think? Do you think it could have been worse? That's right, it could have been worse. What could have happened? He could have been injured. He could have gotten hurt. Remember, injured and hurt here are the same thing. I can say to be injured or to get injured. I can say to be hurt or to get hurt. We're referring to the same thing here. So he could have been injured or he could have gotten hurt. We use the participles here. Could have been or could have gotten. You can use either one. Let's practice. Could he have been injured? That's right, he could have been injured. Could he have gotten hurt? That's right, he could have gotten hurt. He didn't, but it could have happened. It's a possibility in the past. Example, he went to the park, but how did he get there? He could have taken a bus, or he could have taken an Uber. But he doesn't have a car, so he couldn't have driven there, because he doesn't have a car. Now we see a negative example. He couldn't have. Could not have. Contraction, couldn't. He couldn't have driven there because he doesn't have a car. Remember, we don't say could haven't, we say couldn't have. He couldn't have driven there because he doesn't have a car. Again, he could have taken the bus, or he could have taken an Uber, but he couldn't have driven there. That's not possible. Let's practice. Could he have taken the bus? That's right, he could have taken the bus. Could he have taken an Uber? That's right, he could have taken an Uber. That's a possibility. Now let's look at the negative. He couldn't have driven there. Couldn't have. I cannot say he could haven't, I say he couldn't have. Now let's talk about the reduction. I can say he couldn't have, couldn't have. I cannot write it like this because it's a reduction, not a contraction. You can say it, but you can't write it. He couldn't have. He couldn't have driven there, or he couldn't have driven there. You can say it either way, with the reduction or without the reduction. He couldn't have driven there. That's not possible because he doesn't have a car.
I couldn't have done it without you guys. Look!
Sam couldn't have driven 2 cars.
I couldn't have done it without the support of everyone here in the LA office.
I mean, we couldn't have driven 5 more minutes and found a Best Western.
I'm saying I couldn't have done this without you.
Let's practice. Could he have driven there? That's right, he couldn't have driven there. He doesn't have a car. So remember the contractions. Could have. And the contraction couldn't. And the reduction couldn't have. If you use contractions and reductions, you'll sound more natural. Thank you for watching and keep watching for more. Hello and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn the difference between contractions and reductions and practice speaking, so let's get started. Today we're talking about should. If I say you should do it, that means right now or maybe in the future. But what about the past? To change should to the past, we say should have. Should have plus a participle. Example, he should have bought a newer car. The idea is he bought an old car and now it doesn't work. So he should have bought a newer car. The verb is buy in the present, in the past bought, and the participle is also bought. Let's make the contraction. Should have together, should have. He should have bought a newer car. Pronunciation, should have. We hear of, should have. The pronunciation used the sound like cup and up, plus the v sound like in vegetables. Should have. He should have bought a newer car. This one's too old. Let's practice. Should he have bought a newer car? That's right, he should have bought a newer car. Newer than that one anyway. Now let's make it negative. He should not have bought this car. We cannot say he should haven't. We cannot make have negative here. I cannot say he should haven't bought. I have to say he should not, with the contraction, shouldn't. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have bought this car. It's too old. So I can say he shouldn't have bought this car, or I can make a reduction and say he shouldn't have. Shouldn't is a contraction of should not, shouldn't. You can write that. That's a contraction. He shouldn't of. This is a reduction. We don't write this. We just say it. He shouldn't of. You write shouldn't have, but you say shouldn't of. Actually, you can say it either way. He shouldn't have or he shouldn't of.
She overheard him on the phone saying that they shouldn't have bought the house and probably shouldn't have gotten married in the first place.
I shouldn't have bought the house before I had the money.
You shouldn't have eaten that pot pie. Oh.
You just shouldn't have bought me the test.
And you shouldn't have eaten all that chocolate.
Let's practice the reduction, shouldn't have. He shouldn't have bought that car. It's too old. Or I can say he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have bought that car. You can say it either way. Let's practice with the reduction, shouldn't have. Should he have bought that car? That's right, he shouldn't have bought that car. It's too old. And sometimes you hear this reduction. Sometimes people don't say of, they just say They say shouldn't have. He shouldn't have bought that car. I don't recommend it though. It's better to say of. Why? Because if I have a vowel like eaten, example, he shouldn't have eaten all that food. I can make the reduction, he shouldn't have eaten. But I cannot say he shouldn't have eaten. With a vowel, we cannot eliminate the v sound. So to make it simpler, just always use the v sound. And it always sounds good. So he shouldn't have bought that car, and he shouldn't have eaten all that food. Let's practice. Should he have eaten all that food? That's right, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have eaten all that food. Now we feel sick. It was a mistake. He shouldn't have done it. Now let's look at the negative statement with never. Example, he should never have bought that car. We don't use shouldn't because we have never. He should never have bought that car. Let's make a reduction, not a contraction because we're not going to write it. It's just a reduction in speech. We can say he should never have. We cannot write never of, but we say it. He should never have bought that car. He should never have. Use the and the v like vegetables. Of. He should never have bought that car. It was a huge mistake.
I should never have done this.
I should never have done that Montel Williams show.
We should never have done it.
I should never have done that.
I should never have done what I did.
Let's practice. Should he have bought that car? That's right. He should never have bought that car. It was a mistake. Again, pronunciation, never of. He should never have bought that car. And he should never have eaten that whole cake. It made him sick. He should never have eaten that whole cake. Pronunciation, eaten. You can say eaten or eaten. Make the stop T and fall to the N. Eaten. He should never have eaten that whole cake. Let's practice. Should he have eaten that whole cake? That's right, he should never have eaten that whole cake. So remember the contractions and reductions. You can say should have or should have. You can make it negative and say shouldn't have or shouldn't have. And you can make the reduction with never and say he should never have. He should never have done that. It was a big mistake. Thank you for watching and keep watching for more. Today we're going to learn how to avoid mistakes with both. Let's get started. So we have to remember the position of both is important. If we're using a simple verb, both is always immediately before the verb. Both is before the action. Example, They both have a car. Have is your verb, so both is before the verb. The position is important. We put both before the verb. They both have a car. Or with the action work. They both work in an office. Work is your verb, so both is before the verb. They both work in an office. Let's practice. Do they both have a car? That's right, they both have a car. Do they both work in an office? That's right, they both work in an office. But if you use the verb to be, both is after the verb to be. Example, are. They are both hungry. I cannot say they both are hungry. Both is after the verb to be. They are both hungry. Or we are. We are both hungry. Again, both is after the action are. If I change are to the past, were. Again, it's a form of to be, so both is after were. Example, they were both hungry. Example, they were both hired at the same time. The verb were, they were both. Both is after the verb to be. Hired is another verb, so it's between the two verbs. They were both hired, because both has to be after the verb to be. They were both hired at the same time. Let's practice. Are they both hungry? That's right, they are both hungry. Were they both hired at the same time? That's right, they were both hired at the same time. We can also use both with the preposition of, both of. Example, both of them, or both of us. Both of them. Example, the food is for both of them. Let's practice. Is the food for both of them? That's right, the food is for both of them. And sometimes the preposition of is optional. Example, both of my sisters, or both my sisters. It's more common to use both my sisters with no of, but both forms are correct. I can say both my sisters or both of my sisters. Example, both my sisters live in the U.S. So we're using both with a possessive. Both my sisters, both your sisters, both his, both her. Any possessive, we can use both. And the of is optional. Example, both his parents are still alive. That's right, his mother is still alive and his father is still alive. So both his parents are still alive. Let's practice. Are both his parents still alive? That's right, both his parents are still alive. So remember, we cannot say my both parents. It's both my parents. Both is before the possessive. Both my parents. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.